Hello, my name is Vanessa Ajimang. I am the founder and creative director of Copperdas, and today we are filming in HomeSense, and I'm going to be teaching you how to choose the right rug for each space. So whether it be your living room, entryway or hallway, I'm here to help you. So let's get into it. I absolutely adore rugs. They're great for creating nooks and zoning off different areas. Now the areas I'm mainly going to be focusing on today is the room size, pattern and texture, color, and how all of those elements come together. Now, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into it today. Now, when you're thinking about choosing a rug, it's important to think about how will you use that particular space. I'm going to start with the living room. Now, do you use your living room for family nights? Do you entertain a lot? Is that where you and the family or kids are? Is that your den? So I've always first off, how do I use that space? And that will then determine what shape and size you should go for. The next thing is when it's going under furniture like coffee tables and sofas, you want it to be extra large. The bigger, the better. Because when you get a small rug, it just feels like it's floating in the middle of the space and it doesn't look good. So you want to proportionally make it extra large. So this particular one that I'm showcasing right now is 2 by 3 meters. So it's quite big. So you want to feel it so it fills the whole space. So that's always a good starting point. This also has quite a low pile, meaning that it's not too fluffy. So as you can see here, it's quite thin. Always got a good underlay so you don't have any of that slipping kind of effect happening as well. Now, my next favorite thing is to think about the surrounding color palette and how it's going to interact with the other colors. So this one here is quite a neutral fitted tone. So it's got soft greens, duck egg blues, and that's quite a calming effect. So if you're going for light and bright, you want to think about doing something that's more bold of a statement. That's one style, but this is more of a neutral stance. This is what we call transitional style, which would be quite great, and also has the patterns to bring it alive. So sometimes you want to add a bit of texture, so you don't want it to be too simple or too plain. So that's also a great way to start. So extra large on the living room, go for the bigger the better. Think about the colors and patterns in your other spaces, your coffee table, your sofa, and then think about how you entertain. So now we move into the bedroom section, and when you're thinking about the bedroom, this is where you can have a touch more luxury. You want to sink your toes into your rug, and the most important thing to think about is the size of your bed. So whether it's a double, a king, a queen, or California style, you want your rug to work as a perimeter around your bed. So the bigger, the better. Sometimes, depending if you have bedside tables, you might want to tuck it underneath that as well. Now I'm going to talk you through the different piles and what effect that will give you. So we're starting off with this shaggiest one here. So as you can see, this is quite shaggy. Now some people like that effect. It's one color. And this one, what I love about this style is that you can sink your feet into it and you can get this in a larger size as well. Sometimes some people use it as throws on armchairs or accent chairs. But if you're thinking about doing that, just bear in mind, this is probably the longest length in terms of pile. Now, if you prefer something a little bit less higher with the pile, you can go for a more synthetic fiber such as this, which is a mixture of polyester, I believe. Now this has smaller loops through it and it has that texture and color pattern, which is quite nice. Now you can get this in different sizes that will also showcase how your space will fit. Most importantly, think about your bed size, as I've mentioned before. And then this is a wool finish similar to the first one that we chose. So this is a sheepskin rug. And the great thing about sheepskin or anything like wool is great for insulating heat. So some people add it for its thermal factors as well. And this is also a great way to introduce accents into your room. Like I mentioned in the previous with the living room, think about what colors you have in your room. Are you going for a more neutral, calming effect and you want a simple rug that you can sink your toes into? Do you want to create a bold statement and choose a heavier patterned rug? It all depends on the style and the focus you have in that space. Now, when choosing your dining area rug, the most important thing you want to think about is you want it to anchor the space. When your diners pull out their chair, there should still be enough space that they can pull out their chair and the rug is just not floating in the room. Also, another important thing for dining areas, you want a really low pile because that will maintain, it will be easy to maintain and it will be quite durable. Also, the underlay is very important. You don't want it slipping and sliding everywhere. So those are the things you need to think about. Now, I tend to, when doing a project, I usually tend to choose the rug towards the end because I want the rug to be one of the statement pieces. So for example, if you're going for like, I don't know, blue tones or you've got a statement rug, I kind of put the pieces together within the room and then go in with the rug to see how that can work out. You can look at some of our projects online and see how that's been done. And it's also about how can the accents intertwine, and think about how do you use that space. Is it just for show? Do you use it to entertain friends and family? Is it used every day? So if it's used every day for a high traffic area, you want to think more about durability. If it's kind of used occasionally, Christmases, Easter, birthdays, then you can go a little bit more luxurious with it. I've got this gorgeous rug that I pulled out earlier, low pile, once again, neutral tones, a slight pattern. So always think about how the different elements can come into play. And also the core thing is with this style of rug, the dining table will obviously be going on top. So what accents that you put on the dining table? For example, if you've got a small dining table, circular, I tend to lean towards a circular rug. If you've got organic shape, rectangular shapes work quite well. But with dining areas, I really like to play with the shape of the rug because that also will kind of be symmetrical to what the dining table is. Thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe and also join our mailing list for free downloadable interior design checklists. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.